Hi, I'm making this video as part of a series about how to process and respond to all of the events of the world, what we see on the news right now. It's January of 2026. We are coping with news of invasions, war, climate chaos, the government regime that we live under in this country, and so much more. And if you're like me and most of the people that I work with, it's hard. So I thought I'd make a series of videos of practices that you can engage with after you expose yourself to the news, however you get it. And we get the news in so many ways, we really can't avoid it. You may be plugged in to constant 24-hour coverage. You may be doom scrolling. You may be trying to limit your exposure, but we live in this world and we need to know what's happening. I've seen a cartoon that says, I'm torn between my need to stay aware of what's happening and my need to take care of my mental health. And it's true. What I'm going to recommend today is a book recommendation. This is a book called The Age of Overwhelm. It's by Laura van Dernoot Lipsky, who is a wonderful speaker if you ever get a chance to see her speak in person. But this book is accessible. It's not a heavy read. It's full of cartoons. This is not something to add to your burdens, but rather is an incredibly helpful and accessible guide that can help you process them. I'm just going to read a little bit from the book. This section is called Relieving Saturation. When, however, outside circumstances dominate our internal ability to metabolize all that we are exposed to, we can become saturated physiologically in our nervous system, saturated. To move forward, maintaining balance, we must constantly be aware of how much we're contending with externally, and on any given day or hour, what our internal capacity is to metabolize so that we are saturated as infrequently as possible. What has become ingrained in me from my own experience and that of my colleagues, from the studying I've done, and from the time I've spent with wise teachers, from anti-apartheid leader Archbishop Desmond Tutu to Thich Nhat Hanh, is that monitoring our exposure and taking measures to help metabolize our experiences is most effective when tended to daily or daily-ish. And she goes on to say, our daily practice must continually oscillate between handling your business, as musician and social justice activist Stevie Wonder says, and doing what needs to be done in your life and out in the world. We can get into a rhythm, internal and external, back and forth. Quiet the mind, tend to the world. That is exactly what we will explore further in following videos. But for now, highly recommend this book, The Age of Overwhelm. I hope you engage in this practice, quiet the mind, tend to the world, oscillate between the internal and the external so that you aren't too saturated and you can metabolize all that you need to be exposed to in processing the world. Many blessings.